Hey, my name is Warren Pereira. I'm the director of Tiger 24, and you're watching Awesome TV. Ravina Tandon, John Abraham, Farhan Akhtar, have all kind of voiced their support. Dia Misra as well, yeah, have all supported the film. Whether he's a man-eater or not is a very compelling question for an audience member. Tigers are definitely not harmless. They are top predators. It's not an important question. The more important question is where he killed these people.
Hi, this is Asta Tripathi and welcome to Awesome TV. Today we have with us international director Warren Pereira. We all know him definitely, and his film Tiger 24, which has received a lot of international awards already, is going to release soon. Let's talk to him and know more about the film. Also, I need to tell you all that टाइगर 24 जिसे हिंदी में हम उस्ताद वो टाइगर को उस्ताद कहते हैं और उन्हें मैन ईटर भी कहा जाता है वो टाइगर को सो आई रियली वांट टू टॉक टू हिम एंड गेट इनटू डिटेल्स आई वांट टू नो दैट हाउ दिस फिल्म वाज मेड एंड हाउ डिड ही मेक इट हैपन हेलो हाउ आर यू
To be honest, pretty stressed because the release is tomorrow and there's a lot of moving parts. I had to stay up all night last night making changes for the censor board, and they're still in flux. And I just feel like filmmaking is exponentially stressful, and I don't know, things just come at you at the last minute. So, but I'm trying to make it work.
I really want to know that what was the whole idea behind making a film on this.
There was no idea. I wanted to follow a tiger in the wild, and I thought making a natural history documentary on animal behavior would be interesting. But this particular tiger story took a different turn because he was branded as a man-eating tiger, removed from the wild for killing multiple people, and there was a whole story around it as to, a controversy whether he actually killed these people or not, whether if he was defending his territory, or was he a man-eater. And so the tiger that I was following became a big figure for conservation and controversial, and so I had to follow that story, and that's what I've been doing, and it's been incredibly challenging, and sometimes I've wondered like why I've done it, but it's just how it goes.
When we make a film like this, it's quite a big challenge also, because people you don't know the reaction of the people, because few people were for it and few people were against it. But I want to know from your opinion, from your side, what is your perspective towards that? What do you think about the tiger?
Whether he's a man-eater or not is a very compelling question for an audience member. And that's good for me as a filmmaker because it draws you in to talk about more important issues. To me, whether he's a man-eater or not is not important, because it's very hard to define a man-eating tiger. It's an evolving definition. The definition in the past used to be a tiger that seeks out human prey and would actually leave what's known as the core area of the tiger reserve to go into the human settlement and seek, for example, it would be like you're in the village, he's going to come after you and eat your friends, and that was what we thought of a man-eating tiger. And that was the case back then because there were a lot more tigers. When you have a lot more of any species, you have a lot more variance, you have a lot more diversity in behavior, so you get more extremes. Now there are hardly any tigers left. So those kinds of extreme man-eaters are very rare. T24 did not exhibit those historic levels of man-eating. He exhibited, allegedly, a newer type of definition of a man-eater, which is a tiger that kills a couple people and eats them, which is what he did. Or some people say because he bit on the neck. So to me, whether he's a man-eater or not is just a great way to bring people in to watch a conservation movie, but it's not an important question. The more important question is where he killed these people, how the compromised protected areas of tiger reserves force us to label tigers as a danger to human life, and force us to remove them in the larger interest of conservation. And that's the real tragedy of what the film's really about.
The film is about four tigers. Definitely, that we want to portray this to people that tigers are harmless. They are not like as harmful as we understand. Do you want to say something like that?
Yeah.
Is it black, white, or gray?
Yeah, I'll say something. So tigers are definitely not harmless. they are top predators. They would rip you apart and eat you alive. So if they wanted to, but so I don't think that's fair to say. But what I will say is there's only like 100 people that are lethally killed by tigers a year. So it's a very low number, right? Because the chances of you coming into a tiger that's killing you is very, very low because you live in a city and there's hardly any tigers left. So that's what those statistics are based on. But yeah, if you just walked into a tiger reserve and tried to have a picnic at 2 in the morning, you probably get killed by a tiger, and then that should be normal.
How was the experience of Ranthambore forests for you? I mean, when you go, were you not intimidated that, how close were you to the tiger when you were capturing it, or how far were you? We want to know because tigers, they have this intensity, they can hop. They can come anytime to you. Weren't you scared?
Not really, because the chances of you being attacked by a tiger on a jeep are very low. And also, when you're there, the whole point is to see tigers. The whole point is to film them. The whole point is for them to come close. So, you want to get those shots and you want them to be around. So you're actually excited when you see them, especially, well, yeah, I mean, if you went to a tiger reserve tomorrow, you don't want to see like trees and you probably want to see tigers, and so, you would also in that moment not be afraid. Now, of course, if you like stuck your hand out and you're 5 feet away, that could be a problem. But it's tigers attacking people on jeeps is incredibly rare. Yeah.
Still, I think there was a risk factor because it's rare. It can still happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you could attack me right now too. That'd be pretty rare too. So yeah. There's always a risk, I suppose. Yeah.
What message is your film giving? Because my audience, Awesome TV audience, they really want to know that why should we watch this film?
I think you should watch this film because I think it's an entertaining film in spite of the subject material, and I say that very respectfully. I think there's obviously there's tragic moments in the film for humans and tigers, but I think it's an important film for India to see because it's dealing with the national animal. It's dealing with the ground reality of tiger reserves. It's dealing with a very gritty portrayal of what's actually happening over here. So I think for those reasons, but I also think it's just an enjoyable film to watch. Yeah.
And where is it releasing? In what part of India is it releasing?
Yeah, the plan is January 20th, tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the big day.
Tomorrow's the big day. Now we're still dealing with this, getting things right with the censor board and respecting all their rules and things. So I'm hoping to make this release date, and it's going to be in Mumbai, in Bangalore, in Delhi, and in Jaipur. And the details will be on a website called Book My Show, and also on the local PVR, Sinopolis, and did I say that right? Is it Sinopolis?
Yeah.
Okay, PVR, Sinopolis, and Inox websites. So yeah, that's where it's going to be. Yeah.
Talking about the support, because when you release such big film, and it's controversial also, because I told you, right, like people had controversies back then in 2015. So I want to ask you that which activists, like famous activists, I heard that Raveena Tandon also supported. So I really want to know that who all were there in your support.
Well, just recently, like this week, Raveena Tandon, John Abraham, Farhan Akhtar, have all kind of voiced their support. Dia Misra as well, have all supported the film, and I really, really appreciate that because they're, people that are way more famous than I'll ever be, and so they draw people to this topic. It's a topic that they're into. They're into tiger conservation. And so I hope it brings people to this film because tiger documentaries are not a commercial film. And if it could get even slightly commercial, I think people would then gravitate to this kind of content a lot more.
So what I've read about it is that when that tiger was attacking, it was always people who went in his vicinity, in his location. But he never attacked people from the human settlement. How far do you think this is right or wrong? Because were we waiting for the tiger to attack in the human settlement? Like, what's your opinion on that? Because this is just the other side of the story.
I think those kinds of questions are trying to make a gray issue black and white. I think people want to say, oh, it happened in the tiger's territory, and that's why it was wrong to remove him, because we want a quick answer. We want that satisfaction, like most people, but the reality is it's a much more complex affair. Or the government are not in the business of removing tigers from the wild. None of them want that. But in wildlife, there's never a perfect call. You make a call based on multiple elements. So, of course, I didn't want T-24 removed. Of course, we are all aware that the attacks occurred in his territory, but the point of the film is that these core areas are compromised. They're not ideal. They're not how we would ideally want them to be. And we're working on it, but there's hardly any habitat left. And that issue is our fault, people who live in cities like Mumbai, because we've taken away what used to be tiger habitat. So to go around pointing a finger about how these protected areas should be improved, should be in the vein of trying to improve the area and trying to encourage improvement, not pointing a finger, because we're part of the problem. So that's something that I think needs to come through. And if it doesn't come through, because I've talked to a lot of extreme people on either side, like a lot of activists, no matter what I say, they're like, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. They're kind of blind. They don't want to actually look at the truth that it's a complex issue. Or the other way around, people who say he's a man-eater. It's not about that. I'm glad that conversation is going to bring people to watch the movie, I think. But I hope when they leave, they look at more of the nuance, the complexity, and the reality of tiger reserve management.
Are you nervous or excited that what will be the reaction? This film might, go super hit, but you have to be prepared for vice versa.
I think I'm just going through the process of releasing a film in India, and of course I'll be excited if it does well, and I'll be disappointed if it doesn't do well. But if you look at statistically, small documentary films never do well in theaters. So maybe it'll be different because this is a different film and it's very specific to India. So I hope it does well.
I am definitely watching it, and I think people who are watching me, and they're understanding you like how I am. So if they are also understanding you, they will also definitely watch it. Just a message for Awesome TV's awesome audience: kindly go and watch this film Tiger 24, because people don't make films like this anymore. In the theaters, it's not released. So I think it's gonna be a bliss if you guys watch it. Thank you so much, and it was super simply awesome and super lovely talking to you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. You're a lot more positive than me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Whether he's a man-eater or not is a very compelling question for an audience member. Tigers are definitely not harmless. They are top predators. It's not an important question. The more important question is where he killed these people,